Hello everyone, in this video we will see the anatomy of the larynx. So this is the specimen of larynx. At its upper end we have the tongue and this is the larynx. Larynx is the upper part of the trachea and it contains the 3 paired and 3 unpaired cartilages. So the unpaired cartilage of the larynx includes, this is the thyroid, and below the thyroid this is the cricoid cartilage, and behind we have the epiglottis. So these are the unpaired cartilages of the larynx. Now the paired cartilages includes the arytenoid. On the posterior side we can see this is the lamina of the cricoid cartilage. Above it we have the arytenoid, and the 2 elevations, these are denoting the corniculate and the cuneiform cartilages. So the epiglottis, the corniculate, cuneiform cartilages and the apical part of the arytenoid cartilage, these are elastic in nature, and the thyroid as well as the cricoid cartilages, these are hyaline cartilages. Above the thyroid cartilage we have this bone, which is your hyoid bone. It is giving attachment to the infrahyoid and suprahyoid muscles. Now first we see the thyroid cartilage. So this thyroid cartilage, it has the upper border, the lower border. This is the posterior border of the thyroid cartilage, and there are 2 horns in the thyroid cartilage. This is the upper horn which is extending upwards, and the downwards, this is the lower horn of the thyroid cartilage. Here we have, this is the oblique line of the thyroid cartilage. This oblique line of thyroid cartilage, it is giving attachment to the sternothyroid, the thyrohyoid, and the inferior constrictor of the pharynx. So there are the 3 muscles which are arising from this oblique line of the thyroid cartilage. Then these 2 lamina, there are 2 lamina on both the sides. These are meeting at this point, which is forming the angle. And this angle, it is termed as laryngeal prominence, which is more in case of males. Then we come to the cricoid cartilage. The cricoid cartilage, it is wider on the posterior side, and this is known as the lamina of the cricoid cartilage. This lamina of the cricoid cartilage, it is giving attachment to this muscle of the larynx. This is known as posterior cricoarytenoid. Then this is the epiglottis. This is like a leaf, and this is forming the boundary of the laryngeal inlet. So here we can see the laryngeal inlet. This laryngeal inlet, it is leading to the trachea, first to the cavity of the larynx, then to the trachea. The boundaries of the laryngeal inlet includes superiorly, it is bounded by the upper margin of the epiglottis, inferiorly by the interarytenoid fold, and on lateral sides, on both the sides, we have this aryepiglottic fold. So this is the laryngeal inlet. Then when we open this laryngeal inlet, we are entering into the laryngeal cavity. Here we can see there are 2 membranes. So this is the quadrangular membrane on the inner surface of this aryepiglottic fold. This quadrangular membrane on the inferior side, it is forming this vestibular fold. Then similarly on the inner surface of the cricoid cartilage we have this membrane. This is known as cricovocal membrane. At the upper margin of this cricovocal membrane, this fold is known as vocal folds. So the space between the vestibular fold above and the vocal fold below, this is known as sinus of the larynx. When we insert a probe inside this sinus in upward direction, we enter into a saccule. This is known as saccule of the larynx, which is also known as oil can of the larynx. It contains the mucous glands which are lubricating continuously the vocal folds. The space between the 2 vocal folds, this space is known as rima glottidis, and the space between the 2 vestibular folds above, this is known as rima vestibuli. Now we can see the pyriform fossa on both the sides of the laryngeal inlet. So this fossa is termed as the pyriform fossa on both the sides of the laryngeal inlet. This pyriform fossa on medial side, it is bounded by the aryepiglottic fold, and on lateral side it is bounded by the inner surface of the thyroid cartilage. This pyriform fossa, also known as smuggler's fossa, for hiding some foreign objects inside the larynx. On the anterior side of the epiglottis, we can see this fold. This is known as median glossoepiglottic fold, and laterally This is known as lateral glossoepiglottic fold. The space between these two folds, this is known as valvula, which lies on both the sides of the median glossoepiglottic fold. Then above it we can see the lingual tonsils, and on lateral sides of the tongue we can see the two arches. Anteriorly this is the palatoglossal arch, and posteriorly we have the palatopharyngeal arch. Between these two we have the tonsillar fossa, which is containing these tonsils. These are the palatine tonsils. So this is the anatomy of the larynx. I hope you understand well. Thanks for watching.